for those of you whose kingdom spouse are with someone else, or they're about to get married to someone else, or your kingdom spouse has filed for divorce, and now you're discouraged, you don't want to pray anymore, you want to give up on the promise, listen up. We have to remember, God don't lie. I've said this in my videos multiple times. God's promise won't return to him void, y'all. And secondly, just because your kingdom spouse is posting a happy videos or a happy picture on social media with someone else does not mean that is what is going on at the background. Take example of yourself. If you broke up with your partner and start seeing someone else, are you going to be posting sadness or happiness? Even though that might not be the case, but of course you want people to think that you are happy where you are. So it goes the same way, especially if you and your kingdom spouse is ordained by God. You hear God correctly. God show you through vision, prophets, dreams that this person is your kingdom spouse. No matter who they are with, they're still going to feel that void inside them. Both of them will going to feel this. Your prayer and your fasting will make this void grow fondly between two of them. So you might as well stand for your marriage, stand for your kingdom spouse, stand for your union. Don't give up. Even if they say, even your kingdom spouse is about to get married to someone. And I also noticed that some of you might feel guilty of praying against that marriage. You have to understand, God gave promise to you. God wouldn't give you the promise if he has promised that other counterfeit that your kingdom spouse is going to get married to them. So God, the day God give you the promise, the day God told you that person is your kingdom spouse, is the same day God give you authority over, your union with your kingdom spouse, or any darkness that is coming against, your union. So you have every right to pray against that marriage. And let me tell you this, if you and your kingdom spouse is not ordained by God, your prayer won't do nothing against that marriage coming to pass. Nothing. Best believe this. God is not evil. God is faithful. God is truth. God will never respond to your prayer if it's not right. Which means you have every right to pray against that marriage from coming to pass. Just because your kingdom spouse want to marry this lady does not mean they were meant to be. Does not mean you should give up on the promise. Remember, I've said this over and over again. A lot of these counterfeits out here, they live of black magic. They live of juju and all those stuff. They'll be doing black magic on your kingdom spouse, and boom, your kingdom spouse don't even know what they're doing until later in their marriage, when the black magic has leave his body or her body, then they'll come to realization, damn, what have I done? So you don't want it to reach to that point. That's why God is calling you to stand for them. That's why God is calling you not to give up on them. Regardless what is happening in physical right now. The moment God show you that this person is your kingdom spouse, it was the same moment God start working behind the scene. You don't know why it is taking this long for it to come to pass. You have no clue. God might be working on you. God might be working your kingdom spouse. Maybe when you guys come together, there's something there is not fully developed, and it will harm your union. So you never know what God is doing behind the scene. But best believe He is always working behind the scene. He's not resting. He's always into work. So you need to stand your ground. A lot of your prayer, I don't understand. We have to remember, when God gives us the promise, He has given us authority. So you praying like this, begging, you think that's gonna break those darkness of your union? My dear, tighten your belt. Tighten your belt. Stop begging. Why are you begging? Your Father has already given you authority over this relationship, this marriage. So why are you begging again? You are not begging here. You're recommending. You are rebuking that darkness against your union. You're breaking all those bondage of your marriage. You are breaking all those counterfeit, the black magic. You are recommending that you are not begging. We are not begging. What do you mean by begging? We are not begging. We are recommending them because we have authority. Don't make yourself vulnerable. Why are you feeling vulnerable? You're not vulnerable. You have authority in your hand. Use it. Recommend it. Say, I rebuke you. I recommend you to leave my kingdom spouse. That's how we pray. We're not begging. Just because your kingdom spouse is with someone else, or your spouse has filed for divorce, does not mean it will come to pass. Because it always gonna come down to what God has said. Period.